At construction sites, many workers become victims of accidents every year. In 2018, 15,374 workers lost 4 or more days of work due to accidents, and 309 people lost their lives. The most common accidents on construction sites are workers falling. Most of this happens because of the temporary installation of equipment, such as scaffolding. In 2014, approximately half of fatalities at construction sites were caused by unsafe conditions, which came from the lack of standard operating procedures being properly followed. Basically, scaffolding is built upward. The higher the scaffolding goes, the higher the risk of death to workers by falling. In the education field in the United States, the word scaffolding is used as a teaching strategy for students who are taught step by step at various levels. This video was created with the same teaching strategy of scaffolding to ensure that all workers are provided with the proper safety training and peace of mind. People have different thoughts about the connection between the height of a building and the fatality rate of falls. Generally, when a worker falls from higher than the 10th floor of a building, the fatality rate is nearly 100%. There is almost no chance to survive. It is not difficult to imagine that first aid will not remedy all scaffolding injuries, even if the worker is wearing a helmet for protection. There was one case in New York where a worker fell from the 47th floor scaffolding. Miraculously, he did not die. However, in this particular case, the worker was on a piece of falling scaffolding, which created air resistance to slow down the speed of the fall. But this does not usually happen, and it is not realistic to depend on luck. As mentioned earlier, many accidents, such as workers falling, happen because they fail to follow proper standard operating procedures. It does not need to be mentioned that accidents can be fatal if just one small thing goes wrong when working at a scaffolding site. This video was created with the scaffolding strategy to ensure that all workers are provided with the proper standard operating procedures to guarantee safety and peace of mind. Accidents at scaffolding sites do not happen every day. There are many skilled workers at scaffolding sites who believe your injury and your lunchbox are all on you. The experts know how to predict and avoid danger because of their experience and know that it is their responsibility to keep themselves safe. These experts at scaffolding sites warn and guide inexperienced workers on how to predict hidden dangers around them. Before we compare the safety between conventional scaffolding and albatross, let me walk you through a 90 centimeters wide conventional scaffolding. The height of this scaffolding is 170 centimeters. I'm 180 centimeters, so my neck bothers me a bit. The reinforcement parts are 17 centimeters wide on each side. I have about 60 centimeters to walk through. So workers need to place their hand on their tool belt to ensure that it will not get caught by the reinforcement parts. So when I walk through conventional scaffolding like this, I need to pay constant attention to my overhead surroundings and my size. It may be difficult to pay attention to my steps when there are other things that I need to watch out for, especially in a place like Hokkaido, where there is snow on the scaffolding during winter. So workers need to pay attention in all directions when they walk. Walking through a narrow scaffolding is not the only problem we have. Another problem is avoidance behavior. Avoidance behavior in this case is to avoid reinforcement parts while working at the scaffolding sites. Basically, workers move sideways during the building up or taking down of scaffolding. When they do so, they need to circumvent every reinforcement part while walking through the scaffolding. This is an example of avoidance behavior. Constantly circumventing reinforcement parts makes workers lose their focus, which can lead to them becoming distracted, causing unsafe shortcuts. The height of Albatross is 180 centimeters, and there are no reinforcement parts, so workers can pay less attention to their overhead surroundings and their size. Walking on Albatross requires the same amount of attention as when walking normally. Albatross makes it possible for workers to pay more attention to their footsteps. It is crucial to be able to pay attention to your footsteps in order to prevent stumbling, especially when there is snow or when carrying things and walking at the same time. Because there are no reinforcement parts, Albatross makes it possible to continuously move sideways smoothly without obstacles getting in the way while building up or taking down scaffolding. The size of Albatross poles are 48.6 millimeters in diameter. This is close to 50 millimeters in diameter, the same size as a common doorknob. Human engineering studies prove it is the most appropriate size for man and woman to grasp for maximum gripping strength. This helps workers easily grab hold of the poles when they handle them. This also helps workers prevent dropping them, which can contribute to improved safety at the workplace. For all these reasons, I hope you see Albatross scaffolding as not only efficient in walkability and economy, but also in safety. In the following, we will explain the mental preparation needed prior to working on scaffolding, some tips to help workers find the hidden dangers at the workplace, and also the laws that relate to scaffolding as we are going through the work procedure.